Welcome to your daily dose of dopamine. My name is Robert, and I am honored to have a guy that I am honored also to call a friend. This is Dick Chudnow, and for those who don't know, he is the guy who started this thing right here, Comedy Sports. And for those who don't know Comedy Sports, first of all, who are you people? And second of all, Dick, can you give us a little history of why you started it and maybe, what's happened to it since you did start it?
Well, to be honest, which would be nice, I was working in a scrap iron yard and family business and running improv workshops here in Milwaukee. I wanted to get out of the scrap iron business desperately.
What year is this about?
That's 1982,
Okay.
1982, 1983. And in 1984, I saw improv at the theater sports and thought, this is great, except it's not a show. So we changed it to be a sport. And that was the difference. And so wanting to get out of the other business, but getting into this business was a dream. It was a dream come true. Uh, and it worked in Milwaukee. It's sports, it's a sport town. You know that. And when we first started, people said, "Ah, no, Milwaukee doesn't like comedy. You're not going to be successful," which was I thought strange. Um, but we made it family friendly, uh, so that it's clean. So families, all it's for all ages. It's hard to explain exactly what it is because that's a
Well,
long explanation. You
yeah,
could probably
no.
do it better than I could.
Well, let's jump in right there. Number one, the idea that I saw it for the first time in the early 90s. Yeah, early 90s in LA. And you're right. As a sports junkie and a fan of Who's Line, all of a sudden I saw this and I went, oh my God, they made Reese's peanut butter cups, right? They put the two great tastes to go together. You got the red and the blue team, you got the referee. And as as loyal fans, not even audience members, you're going nuts. That's, I think, one of my favorite things is you come to a show and you don't, you're not doing this. You're on the edge of your seat going crazy for the show that you're a part of. And that to me, that's part of the secret sauce. Does that add up to what you had in mind or what you feel now in terms of comedy sports?
Yeah, my favorite thing is when I go to a show, which I should do more often,
Yeah.
is to look at the audience and see elderly people laughing at the same things that a 5-year-old is laughing at. And
That's
that's my reward for something. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but it's I feel very lucky.
well, the all ages thing, the multi-generational thing, like you mentioned, I'm right with you because it seems that it's increasingly rare that most things, shows or otherwise, are targeted, right? They're very much about a specific demographic. And what you've done, which I think also fits with improv very much by insisting on this being all ages, is lean into the fact that improv is for everyone. And as you know, that's foundationally, spiritually, philosophically where I'm at. This is, it happens to be a show or a match, as we call it, right, in comedy sports, but improv to me goes deeper. Now, you mentioned doing improv back when you were just a Steel Town boy on a Saturday night. You were the maniac, right? You were Flashdance before Flashdance. That was you, right?
Yeah, I had psychological problems.
Good. Perfect place to start for
I
comedy.
I acted out all over the place wherever I was. It was a show. It was a 48-hour show. I uh, I needed attention, Robert.
It's so good because you found it in a good way. Some people get attention in bad ways, Dick. It goes sideways. For you, what was your first exposure to improv? Where did you first see or hear about it? Because it obviously plugged into something deep in you.
Yeah. Someone told me about an improv workshop, and I didn't know from improv. I thought uh, um, there wasn't much around, in LA. There were a couple things, and we were doing Kentucky Fried Theater at the time. And he said, "You're a funny guy. Why don't you go to this improv workshop?" So I went to the improv workshop, and I was terrible, awful. I was, the instructor, thank God, kept yelling, "Shtick." I do something that's funny stuff, and he'd yell shtick, and I started to get really offended. But that was funny, but it wasn't improv. Finally, I don't know, second or third class, I discovered improv. I went along with something. Someone gave an offer. I accepted it and went along and went, man, this is amazing. I don't have to, this is the lazy man's comedy. I don't have to write anything. Uh, it's just all right there. And you get in, you're in the flow. And I wasn't in the flow very much in my life. And this was good for me. It
Let's
opened up a
come back.
whole new thing.
Yeah, let's come back to that. We're going to cap this episode because I want to pick up on the difference between shtick and improv and then how it was good for you because it leads us forward where we're going with this conversation about improv. So hang tight, Dick. We'll be back on the next Daily Dose.